Yep, welcome back to the house in Fata Morgana. Last time we saw Michelle's harrowing final moments, his crucifixion at the end, hands of his brother, and then his soul being like in purgatory or something and being slowly reconstructing in the mansion because Giselle was calling for him. And then he had the confrontation with the witch who gave him an offer to reincarnate him as a man in the body he wants. And we could have done that and got a bad ending, but now we're gonna reject the offer. Or we just wait, I guess, and someone interrupts us. I think they should have made the wait time longer, because it's really, like, you have to wait not long. It's like 2 seconds and then the choice disappears. Don't listen to her. Giselle. Don't trust anything she says. Don't trust anything she shows you. Michelle, you told me you believed in my love. But if it could survive for hundreds of years, it must be real. So don't start doubting it now. Oh, the music. Let's raise this up. Open your eyes, Michelle, and look at me. Listen to me, please. Listen to the sound of my voice. Michelle. Would you listen to what I really think? How I actually feel? I would never ever push you away. Do you remember what I said, Michelle? When you broke through the cocoon I had built around myself? I said that I would never come to hate you. I still stand by that. My feelings haven't changed in the slightest. It doesn't matter what kind of past you had, or what kind of secrets you kept. I still love you. You accepted me, Michelle. I spent hundreds of years trapped in this place, watching a tragedy after tragedy befall its residents. Slowly losing my grip on myself until I had been twisted so far I could tell them like stories with a cold smile on my face. And despite what I had become, you still took my hand. You still said you loved me. Okay, it is a bit loud. I'll lower it a bit. It is a really good song though. No matter what horrors you've experienced, I'll always and forever take your hand. Michelle. Giselle, please have faith in me, Michelle. Don't believe what some illusion says. Believe me. Believe the real me. You have it backwards, Giselle. Truth is, I never once doubted you. What? I never doubted your love. Michelle, I despised myself. I hated that I was so weak I couldn't even bear being rejected by a phantasm made to look like you. I didn't want you to see me like that. I didn't want you to know I was so weak. To see my past. To see me now, a pitiful, unsightly mess. I couldn't stand the thought of you seeing any of that. If only in your memories, if only for you. I wanted to be gallant, to be a man. I wanted to be the man who never cried, who never showed weakness, and who died trying to protect you. I didn't want you to know. I think I've heard this song somewhere before. Like in... Where have I heard this? This was definitely used somewhere else. That I was so weak. That I was such a sad, frail person. And not even a real man. Michelle, I didn't want you to see that. Morgana was telling the truth. Man, I talked about it when it came up, but like, sorry to break the moment by saying this. The OST in his visual novel is actually like top fucking tier, which kind of surprises me because when I hear people talk about this, I don't think I've ever heard the OST being brought up. But this is honestly like one of the best OSTs for any visual novels, like by far. Like I think it's like on the level of like Yumineko. Like it's really really fucking good. It doesn't have as many tracks as Yumineko does, because Yumineko has like fucking 200 or something. But like the quality on each one is like it's so good. Morgana was telling the truth. I opened the door to her past in order to bring you back. But that wasn't the whole story. I kept details about my self-help. Things that wouldn't make me look bad. There's no one as shameful and reprehensible as me, Mama Shaw. There's no one in this world as admirable as you. You remain true to yourself to the end, no matter how bad things got. Day after day you fought all alone. Despite being put through hell, yet you chose not to curse those responsible. Only once did you ever consider cursing someone, your father. I remember that day very well. I was too stupid to realize at that time. Yeah, when you were like, you know, I can curse him if you want, but you did that for me. The one time you ever wanted to curse someone was for me. Give yourself a little more credit. You did perhaps come off as a bit inscrutable, but deep down you're truer to yourself than anyone. Your motivation is simple and pure. Your heart full of kindness. Know that you're a wonderful, admirable man, Michelle. Be proud of who you are. That doesn't change how much suffering I put you through, Giselle. I was the white-haired girl. The girl in the portrait. It was me. It was all me. I came back more than once, showing up as a woman and disappearing again, hurting you, completely unaware, pushing you away. Okay, but that's not really you, right? I mean, that's some like, we're getting into like some philosophy talk, but is that really you if you don't remember who you are and you've got a completely different personality and like, that's not really you at that point. Leaving nothing but tragedy in my wake. I'll never forgive myself for what I did to you. Have faith in yourself, Michelle. Follow your heart. I know it was a secret you didn't want revealed, but for me, I couldn't be happier to know the truth, because it shows just how incredibly much you love me. And not only in life, the hundreds of years I spent trapped in this mansion, you spent searching for me. In that vast, empty, hopeless void, you heard my voice. Your love guided you to me. When you had lost everything, your love for me still lived on. Even as it tore you apart, you kept fighting to make it back to me. A few blanks in your memory don't account for how someone so fiercely determined could suddenly become a completely different person. But Giselle, how am I supposed to believe that? How am I supposed to believe that wasn't me, when everything about this is exactly the same? You are not the white-haired girl, Michelle. Have faith in your own heart and the thing you stand for. Have faith in your true self, in the person you are, the shape of your soul. You were never the white-haired girl, and you never will be. Remember when you first arrived at the mansion, Michelle? I took your hand and together we watched dozens of different lives play out. Were your memories anywhere among them? It wasn't behind those doors that you found yourself, but in the remnants of the months we shared here. Was the white-haired girl anywhere in your memories? You are Michelle, no one else. That doesn't change when my body... I know you, Michelle. I know who you are deep down. I love you from the bottom of my heart. And I want you to understand that, to know how I feel. That we only shared our love for a month in life. It was enough for me to wait hundreds of years for your return. And you fought with everything you had to make it back to me, to get me out of here. You are the greatest man I've ever known. Giselle, how is it? You always manage to see straight through me, Giselle. You give me exactly what I want. That smile, that single ray of light in the endless dark. You say exactly what I've so desperately yearned to hear. The words I've sought for countless years. Giselle. I reach out for her, but she's begun to fade, her outline hazy and blending into the surroundings, and all I manage to grab is empty air. I want more than anything to feel her warmth right now, the sensation of her skin against mine, but there's nothing there. Please, Giselle, don't leave my side again. Don't worry, I'm right here with you. I'm not going anywhere. Giselle, put your hands on my shoulder. Wrap your arms around me. I can't. I want so much, but I can't feel you there at all. You can, Michelle, I promise. Close your eyes. Now reach forward slowly. You can feel me there, can't you? That's my finger, and that's my hair. Those are my eyes, and here are my lips. Here's my heart. I keep all the feelings you gave back to me, and my love for you. In body and in spirit, I am all yours. Can you sense me here beside you? I think I can. Now hold on and don't let go. You know, it's kind of funny. We're like two awkward kids around each other, bound together by our love so amazingly powerful. Yet we only ever held a hand a few times, and embracing is like some incredible achievement for us. We're supposed to be full-grown adults. More than that, you're like thousands of years old. Maybe he isn't, because like I don't know if time spent in the void counts, but you are. Kiss me, Michelle. We never got the chance while we were alive. Giselle, or are you going to tell me to wait again? Not this time. I feel my way around the emptiness where she is. Her skin, white but not pallid. Her slightly flushed cheeks, dimpled by her smile. Her lip, which at times called me master, and at times called me Michelle. Her entire being. This woman who accepted me as a man, who, even in death, continued to bring me back from my darkest place. She is my everything. I feel a faint breath against my neck, somewhere between a sigh and a giggle. I feel her warmth, which I thought I would never know again. The soft touch of her skin. I envision her face before me, where I'm sure she is, with her eye closed, and I press my lips against hers. It's a quick, clumsy affair, just a little peck. Not the kind of kiss true grown adults might be expected to share, but nonetheless, a gentle warmth spreads through my body from the place our lips touched. It's a sensation so pleasant, so nice, I can hardly believe it's real. Our surroundings dissolve, and the world takes on a new face. A plane of tranquil light created by Giselle. The witch is just watching this right now, not saying anything, into which the mansion's darkness slowly seeps. The difference is, now I'm not afraid to step back into it. All I took was that single, irreplaceable moment to change my everything. But I can't see her there. I can feel her presence right beside me, her heart, and that she too can feel mine. I won't falter anymore. I'm true hesitating, wavering about in fear of my own weakness. I will look to the future. I'll believe in myself, because she believes in me. I'm done carrying the chains I created for myself. I have work to do. No more looking away from my responsibility. As the light dims and darkness begins to take over, I hear a voice in my ear. Michelle, can I ask you to lend your hand to someone? You set me free, and now I'd like you to do the same for her. This is something I don't think anyone else can do. Only you can rid the mansion of its darkness. I'm here with you too. So let's open the final door together. Another door? The true final door. Oh, she doesn't know about the real true final door. We can put an end to all this tragedy. I know we can. Now, off we go, Michelle. I do not let go of my hand. We already saw the witch's story, though. Giselle. Reality fades back into view. I'm looking at neither the endless, eroding darkness nor the vision of my past, but a sea of blood spreading in all directions. I'm standing at the top of the observation tower, outside the door. What the fuck is this music? There's like a guy speaking in French. Hang on, let me listen. Okay, this is someone reading the script of the game in French. Like it's a man's voice. He's talking about like listening to the witch's voice and like talking to Giselle. J'ai dû faire face depuis longtemps. Okay, it's a short loop. It's like 20 seconds, but it sounds like maybe it's Michelle talking, because obviously Michelle is France, right? He lived in France, right? So maybe this is supposed to be Michelle's voice, because the passage that's being read out loud is also from it's from Michelle's POV. Like he's talking about listening to the witch and talking to Giselle. Anyway, I'm standing at the top of the observation tower outside the door. I've returned. I got fucking jump scared by the French in the background. Back in Morgana's world, her bitter, hate-filled, curse-fueled world. To tell you the truth, I didn't see this coming. This is my mansion, my domain. She was supposed to be locked up, but it would seem my will is not as absolute as I had thought. What would you call that? The power of love? Is that what allowed this to happen? How trite. Where's the magic? The miracle? I can think of one other reason she was able to escape, and it's the only way we'll be able to find the power we need to cast off the darkness of this house. But first, before we do anything else, we must open this door. Whatever nonsense that woman filled your head with, it certainly seems to have put some fight into those eyes. Well, good for you, my dear. A little confidence boost doesn't erase the fact that you were on the ground, crawling through the filth like a worm, tears streaming down your face as you tried to ignore what lay before you. A little self-esteem isn't going to make you any less helpless when you step through that door. But that won't stop me from trying. I'm done acting like you're some inevitability. I'm not gonna say that again. You understand. Some force of nature. It's time for me to take a stand, Morgana. Can a French guy stop talking? It's freaking me out. The air around the door had a distinct chill to it as I placed my hand against the wood surface. My arms, once bloody and lacerated, are now whole again. I can feel my entire body, everything back in its rightful place. I take in a breath, lift my head, focus my gaze on the door, and push it open. Resting on the back of my hand, I can feel another palm, soft and warm. The tower. Through a single window sitting high atop the wall shines a ray of light. A black butterfly flutters within the beam. Its form is indistinct, wavering like a mirage as it slowly descends to the tower floor. And then, from within the darkness, a person appears. Hello there. Oh yeah, your skin is fucked up because, yeah. Is that you, Morgana? How does it feel to finally meet the real thing, my dear? I knew you were young, but you really are still a child. Having heard her tale, I know she died still a girl, and I know she came to bear so much hatred for the world, but knowing and seeing are two very different things. The sight of her bony, adolescent body Let me lower it a bit. It's a painful reminder that she never had the chance to know happiness, to know adulthood, before being robbed of her life. I'd assume monster would be your first reaction. With a face and a body like this. Oh, because her arm was cut off, right? That's a cool design. How very sweet of you, Michelle. I like how the French guy is getting more and more drowned out by the music. So tell me, what exactly do you mean to do now that you're here? Your ultimate goal was, as I understood it, to take Giselle back. We're gonna have an epic magic duel. We're gonna summon giant dragons and we're gonna use spells. I'm gonna summon giant towers to shoot 1 billion fucking bullets at you. It's gonna be super cool. But she's no longer here for me to return to you. She broke out of my cage and exhausted what remained of her soul to show herself to you. Where's she missing teeth? I cannot perceive even a trace of her presence any longer, so I presume her soul shattered, dissipated into nothing. No, she's right here beside me. Is that so? You seem to believe as much anyway, which only makes your presence here a bigger mystery. I know. Okay, let me lower it again because it's getting louder and louder, sorry. I know, you want revenge. I made you miserable while you were alive, and I continue to torment you in debt. You entrusted me with Giselle's life, and I used her for my own ends. You must despise me. Hatred fills you. You want to curse me, to kill me. My death could well mean the end of all this. Shall I grant you that wish? She flicks a finger, and the next second a long sword clatters to the floor at my feet. Take the blade in your hand, and like the knight of old who executed the witch, pierce my heart with it. Do now what should have happened then. You always wanted to be a knight, didn't you? Go on, pick it up. Show me your revulsion, my dear. Morgana, I do have a reason for being here. I came to save you. Did you hit your head on the way up? You came to save who? I spent so long trying to look away, when I should have been trying to look deeper. We can still solve this together, Hitler. To tell you the truth, your constant shattering in the darkness evoked more than annoyance in me. I empathize with your loneliness. I bear no hatred for you. It was my despair that brought you back to life, so that makes it my responsibility to end this. My own wish has given me all the redemption I need, my dear. Or should I be expecting another self-righteous lecture about how a hatred does you no good? Brilliant, Michelle, brilliant. Do you have any idea how absurdly presumptuous you're being? Trying to force your idea of redemption onto someone who has no interest in it? If the tale you showed me was the whole truth, then I would have said you could revile those heartless men as much as you pleased. But I refuse to believe that's the whole story. The men I saw beyond the first free door had genuine concerns and worries. They felt things, real human emotions, even if those things ultimately led them down a path of destruction. Wanting to do something nice for the one you care about. Being disgusted at things you've done. Hiding your urges from those around you. You certainly couldn't call them good men, but they were real people with real conflicts. So you're saying I'm lying? Well, I can't say I blame you. Who would believe the words of a witch? I don't think you falsified your account, Morgana. The tragedy, no, the grisly reality you described. I don't doubt any of that happened. You wouldn't be here otherwise. But I've learned something in my years. Reality exists from more than one perspective. It doesn't change what happened. Yeah, what's Amy's side of this story? Why did Amy fucking torture me for 6 months? Why did she do that? Let's hear Amy's perspective on all of this. It doesn't change what happened. That two-faced young man deceived me. The beast severed my arm. And the greedy, power-hungry lord used me for his own personal gain. Events by themselves does not tell the whole story. I guess this is coming back into the theme of like telling a human story versus telling a fairy tale. Like the witch's story was more of a fairy tale than like a real human story. Just like the fourth story that the witch made up. Only when you take into account their circumstances, what they thought and felt, their perspectives, only then can you say you've reached the truth. Your point being, are you going to march down to where their souls are and ask them for their perspective? Don't waste your breath. They'll only tell you what benefits themselves the most. And we do it our way. We open the door to your past. And if I refuse, this is my domain, my world. It operates in accordance to my will. The door won't open unless I allow it to. Were you aware, Morgana, that I recovered my first memory in front of a mirror? You what? The same mirror Giselle used to practice her smile. And in all those hundreds of years, bits of her memory came to reside within it. Is that what happened? Every time she stood before that mirror, she had me in her heart. I see. Okay. And next, I saw one of my own memories play out in my bedchamber. It was the first day after we opened the windows. when she let the morning sun into my room. Yeah, I remember that. That day was a turning point in my life. And why are you telling me this? Because it means this world doesn't belong only to you. It's also hers and mine, and that is why she was able to break free. Your wish is, without question, the most powerful of anyone's here, and you have more authority over this place than anyone else. There's no denying your position as master of this mansion. But Giselle and I, we too have influence over this domain. I was the one who resurrected you, and she who served as your guide. So the door will appear, whether or not it is your will. Their souls reside here as well. They may spin convenient tales, but the memories ingrained upon their souls can tell no lies. All the pieces are on the board. The door will open. Say the door does open. What does that change? Nothing those men have thought or felt can take back what they did to me. This rotting, broken creature they turned me into. I don't care what was going through their heads. They will never have my forgiveness. My hatred is unwavering. My wish will not be undone so easily. Their souls shall suffer for all eternity. Before we begin, Morgana, let's get one last lingering question out of the way. And what might that be? Who the white-haired girl is. That's your lingering question? Is it... Hang on, let me guess. It's either you, or it could be, the nun that was mentioned, right? Because in the story, there was a nun that, like, at the end, that, like, took your blood unknowingly and, like, was taking care of the church. She was, like, Yukimasa's sister, right? That seemed like a random character to be brought up randomly. And, like, she was killed by the mob of angry villagers, right? So, her, maybe? Or maybe is it just you? We've already established. That was you, Morgana. Okay, it was you. Okay, never mind. Ha 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 ha. So in a desperate plea to deny you came back as a woman, you're not trying to make me into her? That is perhaps the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. That was you, my dear. Don't avert your eyes. You must face reality. I'm not averting my eyes, and I'm not in denial. I have fate. Afraid that I only ever made it back to this mansion once, when I awoke in the rocking chair beside the fireplace. Ha! Nevertheless, that hardly justifies accusing me of being that foolish girl. How could you possibly think I was her? Never have I not been present in these walls, not even while she was alive and in the claws of tragedy. My hair is not white, nor are my eyes red. And look at this horrid, festering face. How could I ever become her? How your soul appears is irrelevant in this case, Morgana. Okay. I will uncover the truth about you. Things even you don't know. And if I can show that you were in fact the white-haired girl, in that moment will your reality be rewritten. If you're so confident, then be my guest. Find out for yourself just how little you're capable of. Final boss. I'm listening. Okay, I think she's saying the same thing as last time. It may be slightly... No, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. Blackness fills the observation tower once more. Morgana fades into the distance, leaving me alone in the dark stream. It's a darkness I've seen, felt, and been consumed by numerous times since arriving at the mansion. But this time, I welcome it, praying that beyond it lies a truth with the power to release all from the house's grip. This next tale has no narrator. I won't sit back and listen as someone recounts the path of fate for me. No, I have to find the path for myself this time. What does that mean? I don't know what awaits me beyond the black, but no matter what it may be, so long as I have the power to provide redemption, I must never put down my sword. Now, let's open the door, the final door. Oh, okay, there we go. Question mark, question... Oh, I wanted to see what time it took place in. Okay, I will say I'm cautious about this story. Because, it is pretty ballsy for the final door to be the same story that, like, was already, like, told to us in an abridged format. Like, we already know everything that's gonna happen, right? So... I'm curious how they're gonna keep this interesting when we already know everything that's about to happen. It's like watching a movie after reading the Wikipedia synopsis. Or reading one of those fucking, like, like YouTube videos that explains the plot of a movie. I brought you some food. You have to eat something. You barely touched your food yesterday. Okay, this is when she was locked in the tower, right? Come on, please. Just leave it there. Her hands aren't bound. She can eat whatever, whenever she pleases. She's already dead at this point, right? Oh, but she's not going to last much longer. The boy has a point. If she won't eat, we lose your supply of blood. That's not what I meant. Leave it there. Well, we'll be back. Okay, no, she's not dead, I guess. Oh, hello, Nelly. Why is she... I was gonna say her clothes looked really modern, but I guess not. Do you really have to go? Yeah, things are pretty hectic right now. And when do you suppose you'll be back? Tomorrow, same time as today. You have enough time to talk then? Will you? Yeah. Are you hiding something from me? You're acting kind of funny. You're my sister. I wouldn't keep anything from you. You're not yourself though. What's so different about me? Well, you're not acting much like a prince. Ah, right, of course. Don't worry, I'm still your prince, same as always. Good night, Nelly, my princess. Feels so weird to see Nelly facing forward. How did I end up in this mess? Never wanted this. All I wanted was a quiet life. Someone get me out of here. Take this thing somewhere far away. Tell me I'm not the bad one here. Oh god, I'm begging you. Just make it all go away. Someone, anyone, get me out of here. They weren't bad guys. Oh, there's the nun. Look, look. The stars, they're beautiful. Though with it so bright out, I worry someone might see us. Everyone's long gone. I hope so. Are you ashamed? A little bit, but I still want to be with you. Have you ever considered leaving the convent? You can't just stop being a nun, you know? It's not that simple. I've made vows, sworn my life to the service of God. I was not aware. I don't know much about this land's traditions. If I were to leave the church, it would have to be in my next life. Is this fucking Pauline? I'd like to be a normal girl, lead a normal life, get married, have kids, and before I know it, I'm an old lady. Thinking, it was an uneventful life. Okay, this is like the exact same thing Pauline said in the boat, right? With the little kid. It was the best I could have asked for. That's my dream. That sounds very peaceful. I hope we can be together in our next lives too. Have a nice quiet life together. There'll be a city on the water. Okay, yeah, this is Pauline. Looking out over a beautiful glimmering emerald sea. The blue sky spreading as far as the eye can see. The sound of the seabirds squalling by the port. Two of us sitting shoulder to shoulder, just looking out over the city. Oh, your prediction was extremely accurate. Impressive. Let me lower the volume again. Doesn't that sound wonderful? It certainly does. I will love that. The Harvest Festival. On the day of the festival, 3 days until her death. Guess we're starting at the end of the story. Interesting. The final door at the beginning. Wake up. Please wake up. Come on. I assume this is Nelly. Open your eyes. Michelle. Oh, never mind. Ugh. So bright. I'm outside. The light feels like needles in my eyes. The first thing I see beyond the mansion's darkness is blinding light. The sun glares mercilessly overhead. A gentle breeze blows past, and I can hear birds chirping from several different directions. Each breath I take fills my lung with the scent of earth and grass. So much time has passed since I've been in the light. I almost feel like I'm alive again. No, not almost. What's going on? What on earth is this? The era Morgana lived? Michelle! Huh? Oh, thank goodness you can hear me. Why, you're like a ghost? Good morning, Master. I hope you slept well. Hehe. Giselle, is that voice really you? I swear it's me, 100%. Not that mean old phony. So don't you worry. No, I believe it's you. I just was not expecting to be able to hear you here. I did say I would always be by your side. I'm relieved. Hehehe. I love this song. But where are you, Giselle? I can't see you anywhere. Well, I'm not exactly sure myself. You don't know? I don't know how to describe it. It's pitch dark all around me, like a black smoke churning in the darkness. It feels a lot like inside the mansion. But I don't think I'm actually in the mansion. So you're still trapped in the void then? I can see a shimmering light off in the distance, through the fog, and I can hear sounds coming from that direction. So you're in the tower? It's like the outside world is leaking through the light. I can see the trees rustling, hear birds singing. I can't see you though. So I assumed I was seeing through your eyes. Wait, are you in the witch's perspective? Because the witch is locked up in the tower and it would be complete darkness except for the one window, right? Is that what's going on? Did I already solve the twists of the story 5 seconds in? they even made a comment like a couple episodes ago about like, man, I imagine while the witch was here, she could see the birds flying through this one window, but nothing else. I think this may be what's happening. And I thought I'd try getting your attention. So that means you can see everything I can? Seems so. Okay, maybe not then. But I don't think I can see quite as clearly as you. I wish you could be here to feel this too. Experience it in my place even. It's a bizarre sensation. While I could see and feel the world through the other doors, it was strictly in the capacity of an observer. We were merely watching, not actually present in the tales. But this time, it's like I've been resurrected and dropped into the world as a participant. It's all so vivid. Everything the mansion lacked. It's all here, and I can feel it so clearly. I wish you could have been the one to experience this. It's okay, Michelle. I know it'll dispel this darkness I'm in. Won't you? I will. I'm more than happy just being able to hear your voice. And being able to see what you see. It's like a miracle. I too, I'm glad to know you're there. To have a chance to hear your voice again. Thank you so much for saving me. If you hadn't shown up, I wouldn't be here. Oh no, I should be thanking you. I was overjoyed to learn how much you really cared about me. There's so many things I want to say right now. So many things I want you to know. So many thank yous. And so many I love yous. Hey now, is that really the best response you got? Surely you can do better than that. You're embarrassing me. I am somewhat disappointed about one thing though. I can't get any hugs or kisses since I'm not there in person. Oh, come on, you're not very good at this, are you? And you're not very good at picking up on how much you're embarrassing me. I'd expect at the very least that me too. We should start by... It's so annoying. We should start by figuring out when and where exactly this is. You're not even trying, are you? I'm doing the best I can. Please don't ask any more than this of me. It's okay though, I might not be able to see you, but we're together either way. You know, Michelle, I think I might be able to help too. While I can't be there in person, I can give you ideas, another point of view when you're not sure about something. With the two of us together, we'll find a way through this. Yes, we will. Where to begin? What do you say we get our bearings? Let's plot exactly what we need to take care of. That's not a bad idea. Is this going to become like a fucking... Is it going to be like You Mean Echo, where it suddenly becomes interactive at the end? I'm a bit frazzled at the moment, to tell you the truth. What? Why? I assumed it would just be observers, like with the other doors, searching their memories for clues. I never expected that I'd actually be thrown into their era. True, it's not at all like the other doors. No matter how the rules may change, I'm seeing this true to the end. If our guess is correct, then we have arrived in Morgana's past, and we need to uncover the truth behind those events. Or rather, the three men's circumstances. What they felt, what drove them. My gut tells me there's something to be found there that even Morgana doesn't know. I could be wrong, and it's possible that even if I am right, that what we find won't do anything to quell her hatred. But we won't be talking her out of it, that's for sure. Words won't break through that kind of animosity. We need something bigger. Something she could never have imagined. Something that will turn an entire worldview on its head. I don't know what it is, but I'm excited to see. The white-haired girl might be a good place to start. She showed up at the mansion again and again, as though led there by some supernatural force. And she was involved with all three men in some way. I can't think of anyone else with such deep ties to both the mansion and the men. but at the same time, I have a hard time convincing myself that the Morgana we know and the white-haired girl could be the same person. They're about as different as two people can be. Which actually leads me to believe there's something there. There must be something. Okay, I've been pretty good at figuring out the twists in this game so far, but I'm kind of stumped on this so far. Maybe we'll get more clues, but I'm not sure where they're going with this. Some secret we haven't figured out yet that we can use. So let's find it. It won't be easy. If we're in the past though, I wonder, maybe we could change it. This could be a huge chance for us. Change the past. We can make your mom eat less vegetables so you become a man. Yes, we could prevent Morgana's death, or we could stop whatever led them down this path. There's an idea. If it's actually possible, maybe we can do something. The question is this world really? I'm getting kind of pumped. Okay, but this is just a memory, right? Like, if you change something, it's not going to actually affect anything. I've got my game face on and I'm ready to do this. Doesn't do much good if no one can see it. Haha, I can see it. It's a figure of speech. Okay, first thing first, we need to find a mansion. Morgana should be at the top of the observation tower, and the treemen shouldn't be too far off either. The question is, where are we? Do you recognize the surrounding at all? I assume we're in France? I never really left a mansion, so I'm not especially familiar with the lay of the land. Give me a little spin, would you? As your request, I slowly spin around in a circle. And through the dense woods, I spot a cluster of what appears to be stone formations. So coincident to get a better look, I realize they're buildings. It is decently far off, but it appears to be the edge of a city. I think that might be the village I stayed at for a while. It's a bit big for a village. Don't you remember what Amade said about the village's history? Amade, that bastard. Michelle, you didn't think something uncharacteristically vulgar just now, didn't you? Wouldn't dream of it. Yes, I remember. You said it was once much larger, and that it was destroyed in a single week by the witch's curse. Yeah, except rather than the curse, it was probably disease. If that's the same city, then it fits with what Morgana said happened. I believe he also said something about there being a large bridge on the outskirts of the city. Yeah, I remember the bridge that was destroyed, right? And that following the path from there would lead to the mansion. So let's head down to the city. Alright. You don't sound very enthusiastic. Are you nervous you might have to talk to someone? Don't worry, you got me here. Don't treat me like I'm antisocial. You're not? It's not what's bothering me, it's something about this whole thing feels off. This world we're in. Never mind. Please elaborate? I'm probably overthinking things. But now's not the time for that. We need to get moving. Let's go. I've got a theory, but I've got one theory, but I will hold off on it until I get a bit more evidence. I'll say it at the end of the episode even if I don't have any more evidence. Let me hold on to this one. Rather than waste time fretting over details, we need to get to the mansion like she said. Everything else comes after that. With each step, I can feel the earth compressing beneath my feet, the grass flattening. As I weave my way through the trees towards the city, the sensation of having a living flesh and blood body slowly returns. Hello, Mel. A white-haired man just appeared out of nowhere. He's talking to himself. I gotta get away before he does something. Hold it right there, Mel. You don't get to call me crazy and then just run off. How do you know my name? How? Why wouldn't I? We were just in a mansion together. How? Mansion? What are you talking about? You're so stupid. Right, he hasn't become the shadow in the mansion yet. I thought I would forget seeing someone as unusual as you. Who are you? And where did you come from? Where? I'd like to know that myself. Say something, Michelle. He's not getting any less suspicious of you. Giselle with the like social interaction backseating. You have to come up with some way to break the tension. Improvisation isn't exactly my strong suit. Uh-oh. Fuck. Okay, is this door gonna be like interactive compared to the others? Okay. Usually with the choices I make, I try to go for the bad endings. But I think for this door, I think like it may be a thing where like multiple choices will compound on each other, and like maybe if you do this, you get like +1 point towards a good ending, or you get -1 point or something. So it would be kind of annoying to like get good and bad endings for that. So I think for my first run here, I'm just gonna try to do the best that I can. Like I'm just gonna try to make the best choices. And if I want later on when I come back, I'll try to get like bad endings. Okay, we won't say I am God, that's insane. I was sleeping in a tree. Sure looked like you just popped out of nowhere. You imagined it. It was so sudden your mind misinterpreted what you saw. Is that too much of a stretch? I think it's better than saying I am God. Yeah, you're right. I must have been seeing things. People can't just appear out of thin air. Haha, on nice days like this, I'll sometimes climb a tree and take a nap too. And then roll over and fall flat on my face. So I can relate. Michelle, napping in a tree. I can't even imagine it. Me neither. So it would seem that, like Morgana's, I'm the only one who can hear Giselle's voice. That doesn't explain how you know my name. You know, you look a lot like an acquaintance of mine. Imagine my surprise when it turns out you have the same name too. Who's the white-haired girl? Wait, does Morgana have white hair? And she had brown hair when we saw her at the mansion. That's definitely pushing it. Wait, what do you mean by this? Oh yeah, I'm surprised you didn't react. Oh wait, okay. Okay, I completely misread this. I thought that Mel was saying this, and that Mel meant that he knew someone named Michelle, and I thought he was talking about the white-haired girl. Sorry. Michelle is saying this. You look a lot like an acquaintance of mine. Imagine my surprise when it turns out you have the same name too. Okay, that's definitely pushing it. Oh yeah, that happens to me every now and then too. Jeez, you had me spooked for a second there. Well, on one hand, I'm glad he bought it. I feel perhaps he's a little too trusting. He's the kind of guy who just keeps on walking when he runs across something out of the ordinary, pretending he didn't see a thing. Not the most admirable of traits, but we're in the clear. I assume you're from the city then, if you're out here? Actually, no, I'm a wanderer of sorts. Did you come by to see the Harvest Festival then? Harvest Festival? You don't know about it then? 3 days from now, we're holding a festival at the church to celebrate the spring harvest. 3 days. Morgana died when the bell tolled at noon on the day of the festival, which means she's got that much time left. This will be the first time we've held the festival, so we're hoping to make it into a big event, something really memorable. Why would random passerby know about the festival if this is the first time you're ever holding it? And a young girl is dying behind the scenes of this seemingly pleasant celebration. If her death is 3 days from now, that might give us enough time to do something about it. Could I ask you to show me the way to the church? I would like to join in on the festivities. Sure, yeah, of course. The church's doors are open to all, friends and families and wanderers alike. It's not far, follow me. Thank you. It didn't occur to me until now, but this really is a strange experience. This is a boy from a completely different time period, whom I would have never had the opportunity to meet. If he's here, then presumably the other two are as well, which means Morgana's wish for the reconstruction was actually granted. The smell doesn't seem like any different a person than the one I observed through the first door. Seems a bit different. Yet he played a part in Morgana's imprisonment. I have trouble believing he would voluntarily involve himself though. I was scared for a minute there. That could have gone a lot worse. Plus we managed to make contact with Mel in record time. I like how we're getting music from the first door. She's interacted with him and the others before, so I guess it doesn't feel as strange to her. You don't want him to hear you talking to yourself again. That's why you're not saying anything to me, isn't it? Actually, I think I can talk to you without speaking. Can you hear me? How are you doing that? I have a lot of experience talking to ghosts. That really drives home how bizarre things were for you in that mansion. Were you not in similar circumstances when it was you and Morgana together? Yeah, now that you mention it. What a bizarre time we both had in that mansion. You were there for 1,000 years! You're just now realizing this? So what's your impression of him? My impression that he's the same male as always? In a little more detail? He's an amicable young man. Nice enough to show a complete stranger around. I agree. In Morgana's version of the story, he betrayed her. But he doesn't seem like the kind of person who would enthusiastically do something so malicious. He had to have had some reason. And we need to figure out what that was. The question is, how do we go about it? We hardly have enough time to earn his trust and convince him to tell us himself. I'll just have to put the knowledge I already have to good use. Well, that reminds me. Something that might explain it? No, about Morgana. When you were alive, she was always right there with you, like I am now, right? Whenever it struck her fancy, yes. She didn't seem to care when or where. She would just start talking whenever she felt like it. Whenever? For the most part, yes. Anytime she wanted. Giselle? You don't have to worry about that with me. I know when to keep my mouth shut, promise. What? You said you feel like you're alive again, right? My 5 senses all seem to be in working order. Which means you'll also be getting hungry, tired, sleepy, and you'll, you know. You'll have to go to the bathroom. I'll be polite and close my eyes and plug my ear while you're doing it. I think he'll be fine. Thanks? What would possess her to bring that up? Does she even realize what she's saying? Oh gosh, now I'm red as a tomato. That answers that. Moving right along, we need to discuss how we're going to go about this. Right, that. The Harvest Festival is your deadline, which doesn't give us very much time. We need a plan for when we arrive at the mansion. How do we spill their secret? Tell everyone about the girl they've got locked up in the tower and force them to set her free. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Surely they wouldn't stand for that. Perhaps, but would anyone believe me? If I walked in and said I came from the future, now that I know what's going to happen, would anyone actually buy that? I mean, in the version of the story that the witch told to us, the reason people believed that there was a witch, the reason people thought that the thing they were drinking was a witch's blood was because Mel fucking screamed it at the top of his lung, and I guess Mel would be more trustworthy than you are, though. So yeah, I guess maybe that's right. Sure, with enough convincing. Even if I did manage to convince them, the tower door was locked in Morgana's rendition of the tale. We need 3 keys to get inside. Mel should have one of them, but stealing his alone won't be enough to get into the tower. True. If Giselle is right and we can save Morgana and change the future, then that would indeed solve everything. Okay, I don't understand why they think that they can change the future. Like, this is we're not actually in the past, right? You're in a reconstruction of what happened. You're in like the memories of what happened. You're not actually in the past, right? Something about this whole situation still doesn't sit right with me. You keep saying this, I'm not sure what you're referring to. I haven't I have a really funny theory that I'll say later, but I have to do more than just set her free of that tower. I have to find the truth as well, as I initially set out to do. Regardless, I would like to try and stay on everyone's good side as much as possible for now. Okay, I'll do whatever I can to help. I appreciate it. I mean, as you know, conversation is not exactly my strong suit. Which means it's my job to hit the brakes whenever you say something stupid. It's a bit too late if I already said it. Anyway, step 1 is to get ourselves into the mansion. We can't hope to make contact with the other 2 men, much less Morgana get out of there. Much less get Morgana out of there if we're not staying nearby. I'll do what I can. Probably talking to the nun would be a good way to get close to the church, right? We're almost there. See the big building in the distance? That's a church. It is the same mansion as I suspected. Seeing now, knowing what horrible things happen there, is so disheartening. Are happening as we speak. In the tower we see in the distance. Morgana's locked up, all alone. I wish I could just march in there and set her free. Getting into the tower, where our only goal, could probably force our way in with a little work. Is something the matter? I don't think that's what we want to do, though. Mel, I could probably overpower him and get his key. Could you? You're like super weak, right? I guess Mel is also very weak. Hello? But the other 2 that almost certainly wouldn't work for. Can you hear me? Oh yes, sorry, I was lost in thoughts. Seems kind of strange, doesn't it? What does? I mean, it doesn't look much like a church. At a glance, you'd think it was some noble's estate. So it does. I'm gazing like a hawk at all of Mel's line right now, because I'm looking for things to confirm my theory, because it would be really funny if it's correct, but I don't think so. It would be so funny if I'm right. I spent so long there, it never even occurred to me. I was pretty surprised when I first saw it myself. A peculiar place, all told. There's a chapel inside the mansion with this gorgeous stained glass window. It's quite the sight. Do you know why it was built like that? I'm not actually sure myself, no. Anyway, I'll show you to the chapel. The Saintess should be there too, so I can introduce you. The Saintess? You've never heard of her? Everyone around here knows her. She's a nun at the church, and everyone calls her the Saintess. She's practically her own religious figure. Oh, he's not talking about Morgana. You just have to see for yourself. Come on. Alright. On our way to the mansion, we passed through a courtyard of sorts. When I lived here, the areas are overgrown with weeds. Apparently, they keep it in better condition in this era. Following Mel's lead, we head through the chapel's entrance. Oh my. I'm at a loss for words when I see what lies on the other side of those all too familiar doors. While it was barely recognizable as a place of worship in my memory, there's 2 columns of battered pews and some piles of rubble. The room I'm looking at now is unequivocally a chapel. This is what it used to look like. I wonder how far back this is from when we lived. It has to be more than a decade or two. Maybe 100 years or more? The views and belief about the world prevalent in our times are not so different than those of this time. Perhaps the chapel was destroyed in the aftermath of the harvest festival. When I was first sent to the mansion, there were signs that repairs had been attempted. The stained glass window is behind the pulpit, I'm guessing, though we can't see it from here. And right next to it is the door to the observation tower. Ah, there she is. There's no priest here. She runs the church. You'll want to talk to her first if you're planning to participate in the harvest festival. I'll go fetch her for you. Wishing his way between the pews, the boy disappeared into the back of the chapel. Okay, I think it's really neat how like the final story is kind of like incorporating things from all the other stories. It's kind of like puts a nice bow on everything. Returning with a nun in tow. When I see her, my face twists for a brief moment. Hello, Pauline. That was your name, right, Pauline? Yeah, that was your name. Good afternoon. You came to see the festival, I hear. It's wonderful to have you. Is that who I think it is? I'm all but certain at this point that all the major players from behind the tree doors are present here. Where's, who are we missing? Where's Maria? From the third door. The fucking Joker girl who is, like, manipulating everything from the shadows. Alright, is this Maria or is this Pauline? This is Pauline, right? I would need to look back at their eye color. Not just the three men whose shadow remains in the mansion, but also the women who are an important part of their lives. Yeah, Nelly, Pauline, and Jacopo, right? Not Jacopo, Nelly, Pauline, and Maria. Though dressed differently, the way she speaks and the way she holds herself resemble the woman killed by her lover behind the second door. Yeah, Pauline. Where's Maria, though? They're all connected. What we thought were three separate tales, all stretch back to a single point in time before our own. Who would have thunk? Is there something the matter? No, I was just thinking how unusual it is for one nun to be managing an entire church all by herself. Ah yes, that's the usual reaction from new visitors. Even I think this assignment is a bit over my head. I'm surprised they're not freaking out more about your white hair and red eyes. Assignment? She's not even mentioning it. Oh well, I was at another church before this one. A smaller building, and I wasn't the only nun. But the Lord of the Land ordered me to transfer to a new, larger church he was opening. So here I am. The Lord. There's plenty of space on the property, more than enough to provide shelter for orphan children and aid for the sick. It seems rather vacant from what I've seen. Yes, about that. We used to take people in, but circumstances have made that difficult of late. What kind of circumstances? It's not something I can discuss with an outsider, sorry. I'm guessing it has to do with Morgana's imprisonment here. Does she know about it? I thought the nun didn't know about Morgana. Do you think she knows about Morgana? Oh yeah, thank you Giselle for saying what I was thinking. I would guess not. The men swore to keep it between the three of them. So she's being forced to oversee the mansion, completely oblivious to what's happening here. Which isn't to say she's not connected to it in some way. If she's the girl from the second tale, then she should be close with... Is something troubling you? Ah no, my apologies. I got lost in thought. Don't look it, but you're actually a bit of a daydreamer, aren't you? Daydreamer? Mel would fit that description much better. Mel would fit that description much better. Yeah, just say what she says. What? Why? Do I really look like that much of an airhead? Oh, I can see that. Someone has to watch out for him, or he's likely to lose his head in the clouds. I really don't think I'm that spacey. I'm not trying to say you're spacey, I just feel like I've got to keep one eye on you at all times. It's a lot like what I imagined having a little brother would be like. I'm the oldest child, you know? What's the big deal? You don't want a big sister? Well, I want you to be my little brother. I don't want to be just a capital S sister to you. That's so stiff and formal. No, I want to be your sister. Don't say you want to become Mel's sister. I don't think you know what that entails. I'm a little old to be playing make-believe. Oh, come on. They're quite friendly with one another, it would seem. Oh, I know. Why don't you become her brother, then? What? Will you? I will not. Besides, I'm clearly the oldest one here. Why not? I don't think it matters who's older than who. You don't really act all that old anyway. I have at least 10 years on you. Ha 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 ha. Your youngest child insecurity is showing. What? Insecurity? You two are pretty good friends, huh? We can discuss the veracity of that claim later. I would like to ask you a favor. What is it? I'll gladly help with anything I can. Could I perhaps borrow a room until the day of the Harvest Festival? I don't have anywhere to stay. Or a source of income for that matter. I know it would be taking advantage of your generosity, but I only mean to intrude for a few days. I would be more than happy to offer you a place to stay at any other time. But right now, I can't let you stay here. I'm so sorry. Well, damn, so much for that. Don't let one little no stop you. Keep pushing. Put on a show. Earn her sympathy. She's a lady of the cloth. If you make her feel bad for you, she'll offer you her aid. Put on a show. You expect me to act? Am I gonna get a choice? Cough, cough. I'm having another. I'm having another episode. The worms, the worms. And I was so sure this church would be able to help. That's not gonna convince anyone. Quiet, you. She was perfectly fine on her walk here. Shut your mouth, boy. As I said, we didn't want to offer a place of respite for the ailing and needy. Regrettably, for the time being, we're unable to take anyone in. What I can do, though, is give you medicine. Since we can't let people stay here. Oh no, don't drink this shit. With the Lord's generous assistance, we've been handing out medicine instead. So all you do here, then, is give people medication? Yes, I suppose that's what it boils down to. I'm honestly not sure why we're not allowed to offer shelter right now, but we are still able to provide assistance to those in need, so... Earlier you said you couldn't tell us, now you say you don't know? I assume it's just a temporary measure and we'll be able to take people in again before long. And with how much he's done for the church, it's not really my place to complain about this decision. I truly am sorry, I hope you understand. I'm supposed to ask for a tithe in exchange, normally. But just this once, it's yours, free of charge. Here, the blood of the witch. Can you tell me more about this medicine, please? It's called Saint's Blood, and it'll cure any disease. Saint's Blood? Wait a second. It's not real blood, of course, that's just what it's called. Side-eye Adnell? It sure sounds divine, doesn't it? No, that's not true. Don't fucking blow your cover right away, huh? It is real blood. Oh, you're so stupid. What do you... sorry to butt in. Do you mind if I bring him back to my room? Mel's gonna fucking shirk you. I don't think I mentioned it, but he's an old friend of mine. We've got a lot of catching up to do. Alright. hey, come this way. Well, that sure got quite the reaction out of him. And now he's incredibly leery of you. When she mentioned blood, I couldn't stop myself. I probably should have kept my mouth shut though. Yeah, you really should have. Mel's gonna be a little freaked out, I think. Mel doesn't say a word the entire way. His smile is retreated, and there's a hint of fear lurking beneath his now stony expression. I spent the trek to the mansion's corridor, pondering how to answer the question I know are coming. How to solve the problem I put myself in. We enter a bedroom, presumably his, and he closes the door behind us. I can see the distrust in his eyes as he glares at me. So... I have to ask, who exactly are you? So I come from the future. Why did you say that back there? That saint's blood is actual blood. And in response to his pressing, Uh-oh. This one's tough. I'm not sure which one is correct. Honestly, both could be correct depending on the how... The thing is, I don't know exactly what tread carefully entails. If I was in this situation, I would try to lay out breadcrumbs to see if he's responsive or if he's totally freaking out. If he's totally freaking out, then I would pull back and act like it was just a random thing I said. But if he's receptive to it and if he's engaging, then I say more about who I really am, right? But I don't know if that's what tread carefully means. Tell him everything is a high risk, high reward, right? Because he could be feeling bad about it and wants to tell someone, or he could be he could just kill us instantly, fucking stab us in the neck with a knife. Let's tread carefully. We don't have much time, but it's in our best interest to tread carefully. There's too much we don't know yet. It would not be wise to make a rash decision. With him as tense and suspicious as he is right now, it won't be easy to get his key or persuade him to tell us how he ended up here. Furthermore, my experience with the tree shades tell me that if I'm not careful, I could be putting myself in unimaginable danger. A brief flash of what might have happened had I spoken too soon crosses my mind, sending a chill down my spine. If I want to get Mel on my side, I'm going to need something more, something decisive. Something that will convince him he needs to come clean and set Morgana free. Regardless, being cautious isn't going to mean much if I can't get them to let us stay in a mansion. We need to be nearby to keep an eye on things, gather information. How to get about that, though? Assuming he's not voluntarily involved, maybe all we have to do is ask for his help in setting Morgana free and he'll work with us? Perhaps. Being so direct will only invite more suspicion, but he's probably on the right track. When I met his shadow, it was burdened with great regret. He begged me to help him. My remark about the saint's blood was based on stories I once heard about a person whose blood was said to have healing properties. Okay, yeah, that's a smart thing to say. Stories? Maybe they haven't made it up this far, I don't know, but the tale of a girl born in a distant village, a saint and the daughter of a god. I thought that perhaps the nun might be the saint spoken of in the stories, and I was hoping for the opportunity to see a miracle performed with my own eyes. Yeah, this is good, I think. This is a good choice. I have to say, you look more angry than excited. I didn't hide it very well, I guess. Maybe it appeared that way to you, but I've never had a very friendly face. If you say so, as long as you're telling the truth. I myself have to wonder, why did my remarks seem to bother you so much? What? Is there something more to this saint's blood than you're telling me? No. Something that would make you want to get me alone and interrogate me? There's nothing. I just, didn't want to scare anyone with all the talk of blood, since there's not actually any in it. And I didn't know about the story, so... This is interesting, because I feel like the two choices would lead to very different results. The first choice we had about, like, saying we were a god or saying we fell from a branch didn't seem like it would matter much. But this one seems very impactful. It's just medicine, I swear. As you say. It's got nothing to do with the saint in your stories. To change the subject, could I ask you to convince the nun to allow me to stay here? Huh? Weren't you listening? We can't take anyone in right now. Which is why I'm asking for your recommendation. You live on the premises, don't you? I'm more a supervisor of sorts. You should have some say in the matter. Why? Until the Harvest Festival is all I'm asking. Why not get a room at an inn? If you need money, I'll spare you some coin. You must stay in this mansion. But why? Those are my instructions. What? You know the stained glass window in the chapel behind the pulpit? I was named after the Archangel Michael depicted there. The angel came to me in a vision, instructing me to watch over the festival here. Okay, good. This is a W lie. I think this is a good story you thought of. From where you were standing, you couldn't possibly have seen the window in that much detail. You couldn't... Oh, I get it. You've been to the church before and you're just acting like you haven't. Oh fuck, he's onto us. There's a metal door off to the side leading to an observation tower. Yeah, you can see the tower from outside. Inside is a long spiral staircase, not made of stone but wood. There's a single door at the top. He's freaking out. There's a single door at the top of the stairs. How? What are you really here for? All the vision stuff is a lie. I'm not here to cause you any trouble. In fact, I'm on your side. You show up out of nowhere and expect me to believe your nonsense? All I ask is for you to allow me to stay here until the day of the festival. If you can do that for me, then I'll make you the promise I could not before. I have not forgotten your pleas for salvation. I know you want to be free. Let me guess, you saw that in the vision too? If you want to call it that, then you can. I've never once asked for you to save me. You're mad. But, fine. I've got nothing to hide anyway. If I say you're a friend, the saintess should be willing to accommodate you. Wait, I already told her you were my friend, didn't I? I'll try and persuade her. Okay, I think this was a good choice. I don't know what your deal is, but try not to cause any trouble, okay? For your own sake. I won't. Only until the festival. You're not getting another day out of me or her. And this isn't your home, so don't act like it is. Of course. Thank you. You know, I never did get your name. It's Michelle. Ah, right. After the Archangel Michael. Just like you said. I never really cared much for Michael, to be honest. He weighs your soul in one hand on his perfectly balanced scales, and then delivers its punishment with the sword in his other. He's not an angel of salvation. Out of curiosity, could you perhaps be... No, never mind. It's turned into a bit of a storage area, but there's an open room you can use. I'll show you the way. I appreciate your courtesy. That was pretty good. That went pretty well, I think. Well, this is just lovely. There are cracks in the ceilings and the walls peeling off. There is a bed at least, but it's coated in dust. There was a storeroom when I lived here, as I recall. Sorry about the condition. I didn't choose a bad room for you on purpose, I promise. If you want to sleep somewhere more comfortable, you're not going to find that here. Not a problem. I'm grateful to have a room at all. If you say so. Well, I have work to do, so I should be on my way. I'll talk to the Saintess, as promised. I imagine she'll make supper for you at some point. But do keep your crazy talk to yourself around her. I'll make a note of it, thank you. See you. Don't drink the food. The food's gonna be poisoned. You made it work somehow. Somehow. It's a lot of pressure being under that much suspicion, huh? My heart was pounding the whole time. When Archangel Michael came to me in a vision stuff, I never expected you to go there. Why do you tell him that anyway? Because I didn't think telling him I know the future and I need your help to change it would have gone over very well. Besides, those who yearn for redemption have a tendency to latch onto the spiritual. I thought taking advantage of that would work to her benefit. Yeah, that was smart, I think. You know, I bet you'd make a pretty good con artist, Michelle. I did what I thought was necessary. I know. Besides, you have every intention of keeping your promise, don't you? Whether or not Mel can be saved is up to him. I will lend him my hand, though. Oh, you say it's all on him, but deep down, you know you're on his side. We're complete strangers to this, Mel, but I can't bring myself to think of him that way. We just met today, but it feels like reuniting with an old friend. He's the same old Mel, and you were actually there, a part of his life, which I imagine makes the sentiment all the stronger. You don't feel the same way? I don't think of him as a total stranger, no. However, nothing. I was about to say something incredibly cynical, but I caught myself. What? It's nothing, don't worry about it. If you say so. I was always the one with nothing to offer, powerless to be of anyone's help. So if anything's motivating me, it's not a concern for the boy, but a desire to prove that someone like me can do something. It didn't take much arm twisting to get him to give us a room, so who knows, maybe he'll come over to our side easier than either of us expect. Him giving us a room was not simply out of kindness. Keeping me nearby allows him to keep an eye on me. He doesn't trust me, but he also doesn't know enough about me to decide what to do yet. He needs time, and doing this gives him that time. If he decides keeping me around is not to his advantage, he will act accordingly. You really think he'll do anything to hurt you? Mel's a kind boy, and, well, to be frank, I don't think he has the spine for it. It's hard to say, but even if he doesn't, we still have the other two men to worry about. Nevertheless, his cooperation will undoubtedly be the easiest of the three to gain. We're fortunate to run into him first. What makes you say that? Did you ever have a chance to see the shadows trapped in the mansion? Shadows. I might have, but around the time Hayden Rhodes passed away, I wasn't really there anymore. I stopped trying to make sense of the things inhabiting the house. I had become merely another part of the cursed mansion. I was only able to converse with them after I had reclaimed myself. I suppose, much like the rules differ between your realms of the living and the dead, so too do they differ for those who have lost their grip on reality. Sure, why not? As I was searching for a way to get you out of the tower, I encountered and spoke with the tree men's shadows. The tree, Mel was the least threatening. He bears a great deal of regret. He yearns for someone to save him. I heard him muttering, "This isn't what I wanted." He doesn't want to be involved in this. Someone else is holding the reins. My first guess would be the Lord, but regardless, they are not equals in this endeavor. If he wants help, then maybe he would have agreed to help if he told him we're here to save Morgana. Callously revealing her hand at this stage did not seem wise. It would have never gotten to this point if it were so easy to stop. Okay, the way they're talking make it seem like we would just have gotten the bad end if we revealed everything earlier. I kind of want to try it now. But I said I would try to do the best choices on my first run. So I guess our first task is to earn Mel's trust. Morgana's death is in 3 days. We have until then to get all three keys. Want to keep her there. It won't be easy. I mean, we weren't even present in this world until today. Exactly. We have no one to vouch for us. No one who even knows who we are. But we have knowledge. Quite a bit of it, in fact. We not only know what happens in this era, but you showed me their next lives as well. From that, we can deduce how they may behave and to whom they have ties. You're right, we do. We know things we should have no way of knowing, and we can use that knowledge to our advantage. Their various interpersonal relationships are where we can get our edge, I think. They each have their reasons for locking Morgana up, and if I'm right, they're doing it for other people. It's these powerful bonds driving them. I mean, I get that Mel's doing it for his sister. I get that Yukimasa is doing it for to keep Pauline's church running. But why is Jacopo doing it? Where's Maria in all this? Mel's driving force would be his sister, for instance. Are they mere bonds, or is it fate that ties them together? You're right, we should find and talk to his sister. Mel's more likely to act if it's coming from her than us. I agree, if his darling sister tells him to stop, he won't have any reason to continue his involvement. Knowing how the first tale ended makes me sadly uncertain, but for now we can work under the assumption that he does genuinely care for her. What do you want to bet she's somewhere nearby? I mean, she will be. It was her death that sparked the chaos on the day of the Harvest Festival. Ah, right, it was. No, you're exactly right. But what I was going to say is that people tend to keep those they care most about close by. It would appear I have a bad tendency to focus too much on the facts. Facts don't care about your feelings. That was entirely unnecessary of me. Yourself did not need to be reminded of that. I'm sorry. Huh? What for? For being careless with my words, inconsiderate. No need to apologize for the truth. Besides, you inconsiderate are like oil and water. Today you're the fire to my oil. Okay. You have 3 days to stop the strategy. Let's get to work. We'll probably have more luck asking than just searching for her. If we can't find Mel, then none mind now. Off we go. Okay, let's stop here for now. Okay, this is a very interesting setup. Like I said earlier, I really like that this final story is like, it's kind of like combining everything from all the previous stories. Like not only like the stories themselves, but like what we saw in between the stories with like the shadows and like the witch was talking to us the whole time. I think it's really it's a really interesting way to it's a really interesting setup for this final story. I'm not sure yet if it's gonna be like good. Like we're still early on, but it's a really interesting premise. I'm really interested to see where it's gonna go. Okay, I do need to talk about the crazy theories I had. Okay. First one that I thought of like very early, and while I was reading this, I kept trying to find evidence for this, but I just couldn't find any. But I'll say it anyway, even though this is like almost certainly wrong. I think that the first thing I thought of was that they are not in the time period that they think they are in, because that is a very, very classic mystery twist. And the fact that when we entered the door, it said question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark for the time period was extremely suspicious to me, because every other door it said the time, and I don't see why it wouldn't say the time here. To me, that was extremely suspicious, and that makes me think like, wait, are they not when they think they are? And at first, I had some crackpot theory like, wait, are they actually in the present time, and they're just like at a Renaissance festival or something, and they just think they're in the past? But I don't think that's it. It really does seem like they are actually in the past, like before before the 11th century at least, like before Giselle and Michelle were born. But maybe there's something about the time, like they're maybe further back than they think they are, or there's something there. I just feel like there's something there, like related to the time. That's just a feeling I have, though. Second theory, this isn't really a theory, but I mean, it kind of. So I was trying to think, like, what could because it's leading up to a big twist, right? It's leading up to a twist. They've even talked about it directly, like some kind of secret that we're gonna reveal that's gonna make Morgana like let go of her grudge. I was thinking about it. I was thinking back to the witch's story when she told us from her perspective. And the biggest thing that stood out to me in that story was Mel going from thinking of her as like a saint who like the blood is curing her sister, and wow, you're amazing, you're a saint, to like a couple days later, he thinks that she's like he thinks that she's like a witch. Like, to me, those two feels like a very sudden change. And I was trying to think like what could have spurred on that change. And I also remember the very the very the very like specific scene where Yukimasa went to the witch's cottage and was like, hey, can you give me some of your blood or something? And she was like, no, you killed a bunch of people, I won't give you my blood. And he was like, okay. And then he left, seemingly like content with that. But then he came back later and cut off her arm. Like, something happened, and in between those two was like the same length of time. So I think something happened there that made them want to do this, but I'm not sure what exactly that could be. My why cut off her arm even? Like, that's just a strange thing to do. I know he cut off her arm and he said like he gave it to Mel, right? Or did he take the arm? And he said like, this is your share. I'm not sure if Mel took the arm or if Yukimasa took the arm. But like, that's really stupid, right? Because like, there's not gonna be a lot of blood in the arm. I mean, there is, but it's gonna like, it's gonna be it's gonna exhaust pretty quickly compared to just keeping the arm and just having her produce more blood naturally, which you were already gonna do. So I don't get why he cut off her arm. There's something we're not seeing there. There's something that's justifying where they're doing this that we're not seeing. I feel the same way I did as I did in the third story. If you remember in the third story, I kept saying like, there's something that Jacopo it knows that we don't, that's making him like do all of this. Because I keep saying like, Jacopo's actions don't make any sense. There's something that he knows that we don't that's making him do this. And I was right, because he was being fed lies by Maria. So in the same way here, I think there is something that is making them do this that we're not seeing. I mean, that's not even a theory, because obviously, right? That's not. But I think it specifically happened in that period of time, in between, like, Mel thinking that she was a saint and Yukimasa like coming to ask for blood, being told no, and then just leaving. In between that, and then them coming to like fucking cut off her arm and drag her back into the mansion, like, something happened. I think that's where my mind is at right now. Also, like I said earlier, I get that Mel is doing this for Nelly. I get that Yukimasa is doing this for Pauline. I don't understand how Jacopo doing this is for Maria in any way. We don't even know who Maria is, right? In the story, when the witch told the story, we obviously saw Nelly as Mel's sister. The nun was mentioned. Was Maria mentioned? I don't think so. Maybe she was and I forgot. I mean, obviously she wouldn't be named, but like some sort of a female character who is close with the Lord. I don't recall there being any. I would need to go back and reread the Witch's Tale, but I really don't recall. So I'm really curious what Maria is doing in all this. Anyway, like I said, that's where my mind is at. I'm gonna be theorizing a little, I think, during this story, this door. Because I think the game wants me to theorize, like the way it's talking about it. Even the characters are like trying to think about the mystery, which is a pretty clear sign that the reader is also supposed to think about it. But yeah, that's where my thoughts is at. I'm gonna stop here for now. Okay, see you next time.